about to talk about something that I don't think anybody's thought about. Every single seat in the U.S. House of Representatives is up in the election. That is all of the seats. That means that we have the power to change what Congress is doing. So if you don't like what Congress is doing, you have the power in 2024 to make a huge difference in the House and the Senate, and of course the presidential election, which we all know is going to be a show. But I'm a tax lawyer, so a lot of the things I care about are taxes. And something that people haven't really been talking about with this election cycle is how the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, the Trump-era tax cuts, are going to expire in 2025 if Congress doesn't do anything. And you know whose tax cuts stayed around? Corporate tax cuts. Those were made permanent, but the ones for individuals and small businesses expire in 2025. So what kind of provisions are going away? Now look, we don't have time to go through this whole document. It's 19 pages. I'm gonna link it in the comments, but let's just go over some of the big ones. Marginal tax rates are gonna revert. Standard deduction is gonna revert to pre-Tax Cut and Job Act levels. That means it's gonna go down, but adjusted for inflation. People don't realize these standard deduction provisions were almost doubled and significantly impacted a majority of Americans because it removed the need to itemize their deductions and allowed them to do a simpler tax return. Now, whether or not the Tax Cut and Job Act actually helped you pay more or less tax really depends on the individual circumstances of each taxpayer. Those that live in high taxation states that pay a lot of SALT tax, which is state and local tax, property tax, were impacted by this provision. So if it expires, they might actually pay less tax. Again, it depends on your individual circumstance. Personal exemptions will return. Those were originally removed. The child tax credit will go back down. And then again, kind of how I mentioned the SALT tax, a lot of these scheduled items will revert back. So the point of this is 2024 is an election year, and these tax cuts are going to expire in 2025. So who you vote for in 2024 matters. And if you care about tax policy, taxation, how much taxes you're going to pay, how your taxes will be affected, this is something that you should think about, consider, and ask candidates about when you are determining who you're going to vote for.